I'm giving you all African vibes today. African queen. Are y'all feeling it? Am I the only one feeling myself? Okay, fine. Hi TGC Fam, welcome back to Tall Girl Chronicles. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some awkward things that tall people experience on a day-to-day basis. These are some things that you probably wouldn't even think to yourself would be awkward, but they are for us tall people. So if you guys want to see what these items are, please stay tuned. Alright guys, so I tried to group some of these items into a category. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted to, but I'm just gonna try it anyway. So in the bathroom, there are a few awkward things that we experience being tall. The first thing is low toilet seats or low toilet bowls, whatever you want to categorize it as. It's so awkward having to sit on a low toilet seat, y'all. Especially when you have long legs. My height mostly comes from my legs and my upper body is short. So for me, sitting on a low toilet seat, oh my god. It's the most awkward thing. You know, y'all already know I complain about my knees all the time, but having to sit down on a low toilet seat, your butt's just going on like this until you hear plop. And then you kind of just like, okay, I'm there finally. Most awkward thing ever. Another awkward thing in the bathroom is the bathroom mirrors. A lot of people, their bathroom mirrors are not accommodating to tall people. So like if you want to brush your teeth, you kind of have to bend down low and see what's going on in the mirror. Or even in the shower, sometimes the shower heads are just too low. So like your shower head, the average shower head kind of shoots to maybe a tall person's neck or lower. Y'all, why the shower head's gotta be so low? I mean, seriously. So usually I would get the shower head that what you call it, the handheld shower head that you kind of use to spray all over, because I can't deal with the average height of a shower head, especially in hotels. Hotels are the worst when it comes to shower heads, y'all. Like you're trying to take a shower and you literally have to be crouching to get the water onto you. It's so horrible. I mean, hotels, do better. Do better, hotels. Also, the face basin on top of the mirror already being too low, the face basin is also low. So then you have to be crouching all the way over just to spit, just to brush your teeth, just to wash your face to get the water up. It's a whole situation. Like, there's no way you can come out of a normal sized person bathroom without back issues, knee problems. Like, it's ridiculous, okay guys? So when you're building your homes going forward, maybe take some into consideration some of your tall friends who you may invite over. I don't know. And then the bathtubs, y'all. I have not been in a bathtub since I was probably a child. Maybe let's say 10 or so. I have not been into a bathtub because why? Who y'all made those bathtubs for? Nobody's body can fit in the average size bathtub, I feel like. I'm just salty, y'all. Of course people can fit in there, but I just feel like for a tall person, it's one of the biggest struggles that we have. Now, in some jacuzzis, I guess in some hotels, yes, your body can fit into it, but most times it's really uncomfortable. So bathtubs are not even a thing. I don't even think I would have a bathtub in my house. I'm pretty sure I can find a bathtub to suit me, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pretty penny. And you know, I'm frugal. I don't like to spend money. So bathtubs, y'all, most awkward thing. So let's transition into the bedroom. Now, in the bedroom, sometimes some of us have ironing boards in our bedrooms. I don't know. But I'm going to start with the ironing board because some of them are just too low. Who were the ironing boards made for? Babies? Like, I don't get it. Why is the ironing board so low? For a normal sized person, why are you making an ironing board so low? Why do you have to crouch over to iron your clothes? Matter of fact, I just steam my clothes right now because ironing boards are so annoying to me. So unless I really have something to really press, not even iron, press, I don't use an ironing board. I just use a steam machine at this point. And then another issue in the bedroom as well is the full length mirrors. I know people have full length mirrors throughout their house, but in the bedroom, a lot of times, or in a hotel room, a lot of times the full length mirror will cut me off at my neck. So I don't ever really get to see my full length unless I step back, and that's if there's enough space to step back, and most times there's not. So you kind of have to crouch to make sure your outfit looks okay. And if you're crouching, of course your outfit would never look okay because it's not straight. It's not straight up in the manner you'd be standing. So it's the most annoying things. Like, why don't we just make things for tall people? Because everyone will be able to see themselves. Short people, tiny people, like everyone will be able to see themselves in mirrors if we just made it for tall people. Honestly, guys, don't just make a mirror for a short person. Full size beds are smaller. Like, why are we even making full-size bed anymore? Why? Could y'all tell me why are we making them? A twin-size bed? Granted, I've had my time sleeping on a twin-size bed, but still, I'm sorry. If I'm booking a hotel room or Airbnb, the minute I see a full-size bed, I'm sorry, out the door. I don't know how people do it. I'm sorry, I don't know how. How are you renting your place? How are you having a hotel and you have full-size beds in your room? I can understand the twin to accommodate the kids. I get it, and you can put the twins together. But yeah, full-size beds get me real irritated. Like when I see a nice Airbnb, like pristine Airbnb, and they have a full-size bed, that's where the relationship ends for me. I'm not having it. Can't tell when last I've been on a full-size bed, and I don't know how to sleep on a full-size bed at this point. Do I sleep diagonally? Like, for the most part, I've been in a queen from, I would say, teenage years up. And then low couches. I mean, y'all just want to give people back problems, don't you? Because I feel like short people shouldn't even be sitting in those low couches either, especially those ones that like you're sinking as soon as you sit down. Bruh. Why am I sinking? And then blankets. Why are blankets made so small? Honestly, they're not even, like, a blanket should be able to cover your entire bed. In my opinion, it should be able to cover a full-size bed. Let's just put it that way. But most blankets do not, because every blanket I've purchased, they've never been big enough. They're heavy, but they're just not big enough. So usually what I do is I turn my blanket diagonally. So if this were squared, if these were the sides of the square and this was the end point, I turn my blanket diagonally. So the tip of the blanket at one end is at my neck and the tip at the other end is at my foot. It's a whole science project, y'all. A whole science project just to get the blanket to fit on you perfectly. I found a way, but I'm just saying, the blanket makers out there, could you just upsize the blankets? Or maybe I'm just not buying blankets in the right places. I don't know. Let's move on to public areas, guys. The first, I feel like the biggest issue in public areas are usually the stalls. Like, why is my neck able to look over the stall door? Why can't I see the other person while I'm washing my hands? Why can't I see people who are washing their hands while I'm in the stall? It's a problem. Could y'all just make the stall doors a little bit higher? Why is my neck over the stall door? Can you tell me? Who made these stalls? Who were these stalls made for? And then restaurants, or just like lounge areas when you go to these different lounges. Why are the chair backs so short? Like, why is half of my back not being supported by a chair? Who was this chair made for? Who? Because there's short people out there with long torsos, so I don't really know who these chairs were made for. I need back support when I'm going on. I have a pillow behind my back right now because I need back support all the time. Why is it that I'm not getting back support, guys? Why? I need my back support. Like, that's a big trigger for me, especially when I'm eating dinner. If it's just like, okay, we're lounging in this area, then we're gonna transition somewhere else, that's fine. But then when I'm actually eating dinner and I have no back support, that's a problem, because you know, as the food go in, you sit further and further back, and sometimes you have to let your pants loose because the food's so good, and you know, you eat a little bit too much, and I can't sit back because there's no back support. I literally feel like I'm going to tip over. And then sometimes you go out at dinners or you go over to a person's house and their chandelier over their dining table or the dining area is right there in your face. Why are chandeliers so low? Please, I've had my fair shares of bouncing up on a chandelier. Why are they so low? Like you're trying to sit down and your head is like, shh. You're tinkling, like your head is hitting the chandelier and everybody just like, okay, she tall. Like, it's awkward, guys. Just, why are they really so low? Is there a reason? Is it you want to illuminate the food on the table? Like, can't you just get some brighter lights? I don't know. Can we do something about that, guys? Can we shorten the string on the chandelier or what? And then this for me at the gym or other places, wherever they have water fountains. I don't know if people really have water fountains now, especially because of the pandemic, but they are so low. Why? You know, they usually have a tall one and a short one, but the tall one is never tall enough for tall people. And you just have to, like, you literally just, sometimes you have to do your head so to get to the highest point of the water so it shoots into your mouth. Y'all, it's a struggle bus. Can I just get a struggle bus? I'm gonna see if I can just get a struggle bus to go across the screen. Struggle.com. And then in public places, like when you're at a party or, you know, you're going out with your friends and there's loud music playing and there's a crowd, you can't hear anything that anybody's saying. So because you're towering over everybody, your head is up here and the normal people are down here, and then they're trying to have a full-blown conversation with you, so you're just literally having to bend down to them to hear everything that they say. everything that they say. You can't hear a thing. So music is blasting. You're trying to hear these people below. It's just so much going on. And at some point you just start to nod your head and you have no clue what they're saying, and you're just agreeing with everything because there's no point in trying to figure it out, honestly. Let's talk about transportation, guys. Let's talk about pickup trucks. Let's talk about pickup trucks with a second row or a back seat, if you want to call it that. What is the who made that? Who made it? It doesn't make any sense. Whose legs can fit? The poor kids' legs can't even fit back there. Who did they make that second row for in pickup trucks? Who they made it for? Somebody tell me. I'm waiting. Somebody tell me. Nobody. That's what. Nobody. Nobody can fit in those little seats in those pickup trucks. Anyways, on to regular vehicles. Most vehicles these days, I must say, I feel like a lot of vehicles these days are a little bit more accommodating in terms of space in the back row. But back in the day, JJ, listen, back row wasn't for me, okay? Back row wasn't. Sometimes front row wasn't even for me, because if you're sitting in a passenger seat, sometimes your kneecaps hitting the little glove compartment. And even in driving cars, one other big issue is that the steering wheels don't go up and down, the unadjustable ones. If people are making cars right now without being able to adjust the steering wheel, recall the vehicles, okay? Recall them, because there's no point. There are tall people out here, and there's sometimes short people with long legs as well. So you have to make sure that you have those adjustable steering wheels. When I go into vehicles now and they don't have adjustable steering wheels, I'm just like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why is this vehicle even here in 2020? You know what I'm saying? Come on, guys. Let's talk about planes, y'all. Planes. Two struggles with planes that I have. Getting into the plane, because you always have to duck your head to get in. Sometimes you're in the plane and you're just barely feeling the little inch of breeze between you and the top of the plane. Barely. Second issue is the seats. Are we taking an inch off of the space in the seats every year? Like, what are we doing, airlines? What are we doing? Because at this point, I'm literally holding my knees up into my chest. My knees are now reaching my boobs when I'm sitting in a chair. I'm dead serious. Why is the space so limited? Or I have to sit with my legs wide open like I have junk in the trunk in between my legs, and I don't. Okay? There's no reason why I should be doing that. So what I have to do now is either pay for extra space, depending on how much the ticket costs, because the ticket costs a lot of money. I ain't paying for no extra nothing. But depending on how much the ticket costs, I have to pay for the extra leg room, or what they call the priority seats, or whatever they call them these days. I don't even know, because you just come up with a bunch of names, so you just spend money. Or what I do sometimes is when I'm checking into a flight, after I have already checked in and gone through security, and then you're at the boarding counter, what I do is wait until check-in is cut off, and then I'll go to the assistant, whoever is boarding you essentially just before boarding time comes up. I'll go to them and ask them if they have any available seats, if the flight is full or not. If it's not, I ask them if they have any available seats with extra leg room. I usually do it that way, because if you ask for it at the point you're checking in, they may want to charge you for that. So for me to avoid the charge, I usually ask upon boarding as opposed to upon check-in. Little tip if you didn't know that. And then sometimes when I get on the plane, once everybody is boarded and I see that the flight is now full, I just get up and skip on in front and sit in another seat. And then sometimes if the flight attendant says you have to be in your correct seat for landing, then I'll just go back and sit there. But otherwise, y'all, I'm not having it with these planes. There's a particular airline too that I hate flying on. I can't do it, Jesus. I can't do it. And this has nothing to do with me being an adult, but back in the day when all the kids used to have the little cars, the cars that they drive in, a lot of kids have them now anyway. I was never able to fit in a kid car as a kid, because when I got to the age, let me put it this way, when I was the perfect height for a car, I was too young. When I was the perfect age for a car, I was too big. So I never got that experience that a lot of kids had to drive in these little cars and, have their little fun and do it. Nope, not me. I mean, granted, I can drive a car now as an adult, but I'm just saying back in the day, it would have been great if I could have a little car to drive in, is all I'm saying. And then the last thing in the public is public transportation or public buses. Listen, who their seat make for? Are they just trying to cram a bunch of people into the bus? Because those seats make no sense. None whatsoever. I've always had to get into, at least for the urban buses, I've always had to sit in the middle row or sit in the front row with the driver, or just turn myself completely in the seat and just have my legs up on the seat, depending on, if it's a full bus or not. Like, y'all, struggle.com. Then let's move on to the kitchen now. My biggest pet peeve in life, y'all, biggest pet peeve is when I'm taller than a refrigerator. Why am I taller than a fridge? It's completely unacceptable. Anytime that I go anywhere and I'm taller than the fridge, I get so irritated because I'm just like, why? Why is this life? This doesn't make any sense. Why am I taller than a refrigerator? The refrigerator should be as tall as me or taller. I absolutely hate when I'm taller than a refrigerator. And I don't know why it irritates my soul so much. It irritates me to the core, y'all. To the core. And then in the kitchen also, the sinks, those deep kitchen sinks that everybody has these days. I mean, they're cute and all and they hold more, but sis got back problems. And sis does not want to be bending down having to wash these dishes. Jeez. Yeah, that really irritates me. It really, really irritates me. Like, you have to bend so low and wash the dishes and then get to the bottom. I'm sorry, either we're gonna have to elevate the counter or just continue to use the regular sinks because I'm not feeling this whole deep sink trend, okay? And then the other thing, you know, sometimes you have the cupboards over the kitchen sink, so it's like it's too constricting for a tall person. It should be an open square over your sink because then when you put cupboards over your sink and then you try to bend over and you're trying to wash dishes, it's literally impossible because your face is literally against the sink, against the cupboard, sorry, and then you're trying to wash because you can't fully bend your back to get into said deep sink. Y'all, the stress. Y'all can see I'm stressed out. The struggles that we go through it's ridiculous, okay? And then there's some just general items of things that we experience all the time as tall people. So one awkward thing that happens all the time is because you have long limbs, you hit everything. Your arms hit things, your elbows hit things, your knees hit things, your ankles hit things, your feet, like you just hit things. There's no I guarantee you there's no tall person out there that doesn't hit a part of their body every single day. For me, mostly it's my foot because I have big feet and my arms. But y'all, I guarantee you every single day a tall person hits places multiple times throughout the day. Multiple, okay? And then I feel like I'm always a selfie stick. It's awkward enough as a tall person taking pictures because you always have to be in the back or on the side or on the lowest level of the step or whatever the case is. But then everybody asks you to take a picture when it comes to selfies because your hands are long enough to literally be a selfie stick. At some point in my life, I'm gonna need somebody else's arm to be the selfie stick, okay? I need to be cute in the picture too. I don't want to always see my armpits in all the pictures, y'all. And now, as it relates to pictures as well, other people taking pictures of you, if you're in a single picture by yourself, it's like a lot of the times the other person taking the picture of you is short and the angle is just never right in the picture because they're shorter than you. When they take the picture, you just look like a tower. You literally look like a tower. So a lot of times when people take pictures of me, I try to tell them hold their hands up and take the picture of me facing down so that I don't look like a complete giant in the picture. It's a whole method to the madness when it comes to pictures, y'all. And then umbrellas. Let's not talk about umbrellas when you're walking next to a short person. Oh my gosh. Why is it so awkward? You literally have the umbrella and you're holding it up to your level, but because the person next to you is shorter than you, the rain is still hitting them from this side. So then you have to kind of crouch down and then the rain starts to hit you from this side. It's just a whole situation, y'all. Especially when you have those little single umbrellas. Listen, nobody share no umbrella with me, right? Don't share no umbrella. Like when I'm out and it's raining, I see people getting wet. I know y'all be mad that I walk past with my umbrella and my raincoat, but listen, it's just not gonna work. We're both gonna get wet, and it might as well be you get wet because I don't want to get sick. One funny thing that happens is when you meet people for the first time and you're sitting down and then you finally stand up, they always say, "Wow, you're tall." Like you went through a whole meeting with them, you had a whole conversation with them, you all sitting kiki haha, and then the awkward moment when you stand up and they realize how tall you are, and then they have to mention how tall you are. It's funny, but it's also awkward at the same time because it's like, no, you're a totally different person. You're not the normal average height human you were talking to while sitting down. You're a whole giant now. It's so weird. It's so awkward. So one thing which is funny that I'm wearing a bun now, but a lot of times I don't wear buns. I honestly don't wear buns unless I'm home because I can't wear a bun in my vehicle because it's gonna hit the top of my vehicle. I can't wear a bun anywhere else because it's gonna just hit where it's gonna like hit doorways and hit stuff that I'm getting into. So I honestly just don't wear buns. No, or if I do wear a bun, I would have to make the bun after I get out the vehicle, if that makes sense. Y'all, these are things that you probably would never think would happen, but they actually happen. One of my other biggest pet peeves is office tables on office chairs. Especially in cubicles, office tables are always too low. So then your legs are literally bent up or curled up underneath, and you literally have to stretch them out or put the chair at the lowest level in order for you to stretch out your legs. And then sometimes the chairs don't go low enough for you to be at the lowest level in order for you to stretch out your legs. So it's just a whole awkward situation, and then you just have to turn yourself sideways in order to have your legs be free. That's one. Then two, when you're in a cubicle or if your office table is against a wall, you can't stretch your legs out completely. So you literally like this under the table all day for 8 hours of your job and can't stretch your legs out. Y'all, I've gone through some office chair and table struggles, y'all. I've gone through it, but most times my solution has had to be to turn sideways and just let my legs be free on the side. It's the most awkward thing, y'all. And that happens as well when you go out for dinner as well. Sometimes the tables and the chairs, they don't match perfectly for your height. Or even if you're in like a booth, your legs are hitting the person who's sitting across from you. Y'all, honestly, sometimes these things can be so frustrating, but you just have to do what you have to do in order to be comfortable, or sometimes just not sit in front of a person, so you're just sitting in front of no one so that you can get the leg room, because y'all gonna be playing footsies. All tall people have played footsies with people under the table because your legs literally have nowhere to go. And then sometimes people buck up on your leg and like, oh, I thought that was the table. No, it wasn't. It's my legs. Walking with people is also very awkward, and it's not awkward because you're walking next to them necessarily. It's because as a tall person, you usually walk faster than a person because your stride is longer. So the space between your legs of every step that you take is longer than a short person's step. So somehow, someway, you're always going to end up in front of people that you're walking with, and you're always going to get frustrated because you think they're walking too slow, and then the short people get frustrated because they think you're walking too fast. It's just a whole frustrating mess, y'all. A whole frustrating mess, and everybody is just annoyed. So you have to eventually slow down. You keep looking back, they keep telling you you're walking too fast. It's just a whole situation until eventually you meet up and then you get over it. But it could be quite annoying, y'all. One other annoying thing or awkward thing is like shallow pools or shallow beaches. And I know you're thinking beaches can't be shallow. Some beaches, they are shallow, completely shallow. So it's like half of your body is in the pool or in the beach, and then the other half is just up there hanging out, just not getting wet because everything is just too shallow. So you have to kind of crouch down and sit and be able to, submerge yourself completely under the water. But sometimes it can be awkward because your poor knees under there struggling. You just want to stand completely in the water, and it's just all very awkward sometimes. And then say you're out and it's a bright sunny day and you're out at a function or a gathering and people are literally standing in front of you to hide from the sun. I find that to be so disrespectful, y'all. I get so disrespected when people do that. And I usually just step to the side and just let that sun burn them. And if they move in front of me again, I step to the side again. I don't play that, y'all. Don't use me as no sunshade, okay? Don't use me as no sunshade. It's rude. And then the last thing that I could think of was just low-hanging trees. Anytime you have to walk past a tree, you always have to do this to kind of get past the tree, or depending, sometimes a door. It just depends on how places are made, but this is the usual pattern to get on the tree, this side neck thing. And sometimes you do that and the bush still all up in your face or in your head. Y'all hear the dissatisfaction, the tiredness of all these awkward things that happen to us. And I'm sure I've left a bunch of items out off of this list, but these are just the things that I could think of that happened to me specifically. And I know people who are taller than me have other issues, or people who are not as tall as me have some issues as well. But y'all, this is just my list. If you guys want to share your list down in the comments, I would love to hear it, because there are a lot of times since I've been doing these videos, a lot of short people have been saying there's similar issues that they have, but just just affect them differently. So guys, please share your awkward moments or awkward issues that you have as it relates to your hike down in the comments, and I'd love to hear what they are. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed doing this one. I usually enjoy doing anything tour related where I get to vent, because I get to vent to you guys and you guys get to laugh at me venting. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you did, please ensure that you like this video. Don't forget to share it, subscribe, turn your post notifications on so that you can get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye TGC fam.